Hey guys, it's Danny Elliott. Welcome back to the show. Thank you for joining me today. So I want to talk to you today about the case for the bullish U.S. economy, because I was listening to a mainstream economist from Bloomberg, and she was talking about how 50% of all economic activity in the United States is controlled by the top 10% of people, and then the vast majority of the rest of that 50% is controlled by the upper 30% below the top 10%. So that means the bottom 60% of the U.S. economy controls almost zero economic impact in the United States. And I wanted you guys to think about this because, this really means that the mainstream does not care about the middle class and the lower classes in this country. They think it's just, it's okay if the majority is living in poverty, and it doesn't matter, like, assets go to the moon, and if you don't own any property, hey, that's just your problem, bro. You're just gonna have to go back, get another job, work 3 jobs, all part-time with no benefits, and the wages are shit. And it's okay because the richest 10% are going to do 50% of the spending, and then the 30% below the richest 10% are going to do the other 50% of the spending. And everyone else in the country, 60% of the United States, is going to be living hand to mouth, paycheck to paycheck. And I was thinking about this because, I saw another video last night from the Philippines, and they were talking about how you can, if you make $3,900 a month, like if you earn less than $1,000 a week, you are the rich in the Philippines, as long as you're earning US dollars. So I don't know why everybody is not planning to move overseas, because I'm planning to move overseas. You should be planning to move overseas. You need to take your US dollars and get the hell out of this place. Because, and what about AI, guys, right? AI is going to come in, because that's the other thing these mainstream economists always talk about, that we're going to have these massive productivity gains from AI. But it's not going to do anything to the jobs. Oh no, everybody's going to keep their jobs. Sure. It's not going to have any impact on the jobs. I mean, if you're making $3,900 a month and you can be part of the upper class, why wouldn't you go become part of the upper class rather than stay in the United States and shift from the middle class to the lower class? Why would you want to become poor when you can become rich? So I just wanted you guys to think about that, because I think we should all be rich. I want everyone to be rich. I want us all to join the rich in somewhere new, some country that's a lot more welcoming to us. Like, I'm going to Ecuador. They are very welcoming. If you have skills, experience, money, you want to bring some money and participate in the Ecuador economy, you want to bring a college degree, you want to take your real estate income and show up in Ecuador, and maybe you want to buy a business, maybe you just want to live there and get a condo on the beach, right? A lot of real estate investors are just saying, the prices are too high, it's a great time to just sit on the beach and wait for this whole thing to correct, a la 2008, right? Sometimes there's a time to sell, sometimes there's a time to buy, and sometimes you just want to sit on the beach. Now is a great time to just sit on the beach. But you could cash flow one rental house in the Northeast for $3,900 a month. I mean, I know my rental is going to be up to that price. It's not there yet, but rents are going up, guys. You wait till the Fed prints. The rents are going up in the United States because property taxes are going up, insurance is going up. The cost of government is at an all-time high, and it's only going to rip higher, because these guys at City Hall and your State House, and especially Washington, D.C., they are not going to cut spending. Trump doesn't care about spending cuts. The big beautiful bill just added another $1 trillion to the deficit. they don't care about spending cuts, guys. They don't care about the poor and the middle class in this country. They only care about the oligarchs who run this world, and they are just going to continue to steal money from us to make themselves richer and richer. And, you know, you guys are just going to be running the rat race, going to your 9 to 5, you know, thinking you're getting ahead, you know. Oh, we got a 3% salary increase, honey. Things are looking up. Yeah. Except you've lost 40% of your purchasing power since the crisis. But you got a 3% raise, so, you know, you think you're doing good. I don't know, guys. Just wanted to come on and talk about that today. I think that we should all be rich, and we should all live in an easier place to live. A more comfortable place, a place where, you know, people still like each other, a place that's not passive aggressive like the United States, you know, where everyone is kind of walking around with their heads down and nobody talks to one another. Everybody just kind of stays in their house and keeps to themselves. Everybody's got, you know, dreams of a bigger and bigger house further and further away from El Centro, you know. The fewer people we can deal with, the better in the U.S., right? That's all people want to do. Just sit at home and order DoorDash and Grubhub and Uber Eats and get fat. 70% of the population is overweight or morbidly obese. And we're just driving around and we got speed cameras everywhere just stealing our money every time we drive down the street. I'm just tired of it. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think about that in the comments section, though. Appreciate you watching the video today. And I hope to see you in the next episode. Thanks for joining me today. I'm Danny Elliott.